How are you doing during this quarantine? How are you handling the pandemic? How are you feeling physically, spiritually, and emotionally? Because I learned a couple things during my first quarantine in March, and I'd like to share them with you. I think I'd like to split up this video in 3 parts. So we have physically, spiritually, and emotional management. And I'd like to share some of the things that I thought were really useful and that helped my mood, emotions, and the way I've handled the pandemic. So let's get into it. So let's start with physical. No matter where you're at in your physical journey, this applies to you. I was the type of person that didn't enjoy working out. I never really worked out prior to quarantine, and I took this opportunity to say, you know what, there are no excuses. I have more time on my hands now. I'm gonna start, working out at home. I always find an excuse and say I don't have enough time, or I don't wanna go to the gym or whatever, and I committed to myself every second day I will work out. I tried to give myself an attainable goal that wasn't going to discourage me and make me feel like, oh my God, I can't do this every day. So every second day was the goal I set for myself. I started that at the end of March, and I'm still going strong. The thought process I had was, instead of looking at working out as a pain and a hassle and something I don't enjoy, which I used to do, I started changing my mindset. I started saying to myself, I am so lucky that I have the ability to work out. I have the ability to move my body. I'm blessed with a body that functions, and I should be ashamed of myself if I ever complain about working out ever again. I just started to realize this is not something to complain about. This is something I'm lucky to be able to do. So once I started looking at it that way, there was no way I was missing a day. Not only is working out from home free, there are so many pros to working out, and here are a few. Naturally increases serotonin, which is a hormone that affects your mood, especially when people are fighting with mental health. We have anxiety, depression. It is a natural way to self-medicate, gives us more energy, boosts confidence. There really isn't any excuse anymore because of all of the free outlets that we have to look at online workout programs, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, it's everywhere. There's not a lack of knowledge. There's so many things you can do with your own body weight. So the gym excuse isn't applicable anymore, which used to be my excuse. Creating a little workout plan for yourself, sticking to it is a great feeling. It's a feeling of accomplishment, and it's something to look forward to, of checking off your list. Exercise boosts blood flow to the brain, allowing it to get more oxygen, therefore working better. Exercising regularly helps us get more quality sleep. So there are just tons of benefits from exercising, and I'm happy that I'm now experiencing them, because I don't know what took me so long. It took a quarantine and a pandemic to get me to start working out, but that's a positive that has come out of this whole process. So that brings me to my next point, which is emotional management. What does that mean? How can we manage our emotional state? What are things we can do? The number one thing we can do, in my opinion, is come from a place of asking better questions. Now, what do I mean by that? My dad taught us when we were really young to ask better questions. His favorite question was, what's great about this? Having that question in the back of my mind since such a young age has definitely helped me go through tough times, because I'm quicker at getting over the situation. I'm all about feeling your emotions and feeling your bad mood for a little bit, but you don't want to sit in that for too long. So once you know that there's nothing you can change about the situation, aka the pandemic right now, you need to start asking better questions. So let's use the question, what's great about this? Obviously, nothing is great about the actual virus, but it's what's great about the situation that we are now in that we cannot control. Like I previously said, we have the working out physical side, where I finally am working out. I'm reaping the benefits. It is awesome. I'm addicted, and I'm so glad that I started. And had it not been for this circumstance, I probably wouldn't have. I think freedom is a huge thing that we all have a greater appreciation for. I think another thing that a lot of people have been doing is getting to things that they always pushed off and procrastinated. I think a lot of people were forced to face the things they were procrastinating, and that's a huge plus, because you're checking things off your list and you're getting things done. Those of you that got to transfer your work to working from home, That I think was a plus, especially if you have pets, because you got to be with your pets more, your little fur babies. I have family all over the world, so trying to stay connected with them sometimes with regular life escapes us and gets away from us, and we lose touch for a certain amount of time. During this pandemic, I have been more connected with them than any other time ever in our lives. We have monthly Zoom calls where we have people from all over the world jumping on and connecting, and it's because of the pandemic, making sure everyone's doing okay. Having certain family members learning technology so that they can get onto these calls has been another plus. My grandma, who never wanted any technology, was not interested in learning how to use it, has her first iPad and is jumping onto these Zoom calls where we're all on there, and it's like a beautiful thing for her to see all of her grandkids together and her great grandkids and her kids. So it's been a beautiful experience being able to check in with each other more and make sure everyone's doing okay and see what everyone's up to and how they're handling this. It's been a lot of connection, and I think that's another plus. Supporting local businesses. Now, there have been a lot of businesses that have definitely had a hard time during this time where they were forced to shut down and people are not spending as much as they were before this. And instead of ordering gifts for your family for Christmas off Amazon Prime or for birthdays or any type of occasion where you need to buy something, try to look locally and see how you can help your local businesses. Of course, there's a big one, working on yourself, personal development, reading, learning, listening to podcasts, YouTube videos like this, doing anything to benefit yourself and make yourself grow as a person and learn. I think a lot of people also were doing it by force. They had to deal with a lot of things that they were maybe trying to not deal with when regular life is happening, and this quarantine happened, and it certainly has happened for me. I've dealt with a lot of things that I would push off and not think about purposely and suppress. This extra time we've all been given, I think, is a huge blessing in the sense that we don't always get extra time like this. We don't always get to be home like this. If you're an entrepreneur, pivoting your business is a huge one. We've all had to make some adjustments. I certainly have. Pivoting your business in a way where you can still try to make money and do what you need to do and see how you can adapt with the times and make your business still successful, but see, okay, when this is taken away from me, when gatherings are taken away from me, how can I still have a running business? Like I said before about procrastination and doing things that you've put off doing, that's one thing, but I'm talking about organizing and deep cleaning. A lot of people, do deep cleans maybe 4 times a year every season or 1 time a year sometimes. Doing deep cleaning and taking advantage of this time is great, but also organizing from big things to small things, big rooms or small little sections of little rooms, going through things and getting rid of things that you may not need anymore and having a keep, give, and sell pile. Doing a good clean out feels so good and is a great way to feel productive and just get things done that eventually need to be done. So you might as well take this time and take advantage of this time. Make a business plan for the business you've always wanted to start. Write out a plan, talk to friends and family about it, do some surveys, close friends, and figure out, like, would you like this? Would you like that? What would you think of this? Get a little conversation going about something you've always wanted to start but never thought you'd have enough time to do so and have put on the back burner. Now you have your time. That's what I mean about asking better questions. What is great about the situation I am in? I apply it to every situation that pisses me off, literally. Something as small as parking. If I think I'm finding a parking spot so far from where I'm going, well, I got extra steps in that day, extra exercise. It's not snowing, so at least I'm not walking in the snow. Get into the habit of shifting your mindset quicker and you'll be in less of a bad mood. Like, would you rather sit in a bad mood or get over it quicker and then be happy again? I'm telling you, this question has changed my life and it'll change yours. Sorry, I had to move locations. People came home and it was too loud, so I moved. To me, spirituality means inner work. And what I mean by that is journaling your thoughts and what you're feeling and being in tune with that and not being blocked or suppressing anything. So being very open with yourself and being able to recognize what you're feeling. I find journaling very therapeutic. I find it makes me feel better every time. Number 1, it helps me figure out what I'm feeling. 2, it sometimes helps me figure out why I'm feeling that way. What I also like to do in my journals is gratitude. So gratitude makes me always feel in a better mood. It makes me remember what I'm grateful for and how lucky I am to be healthy and have a roof over my head and have food in the fridge and have a job and have a dog and a healthy dog and things that a lot of us take for granted every day, myself included. I don't want to let myself do that. So I thank God for the smallest of things, but it always makes me feel better and I appreciate what I have. And I think that that's a great habit to build. You can't be in a bad mood or in a negative space when you're being grateful. So that's something to keep in mind. I also think manifestation falls under the spirituality category. So I like practicing manifestation with little things in life so that my muscle is built and then I do it with everything. Building that muscle and manifesting what you want and putting that energy out there and thinking of the outcome that you want and believing that it's true and believing that it will happen is how manifestation works. I also think vision boards and visualization falls under spirituality as well. So I have my vision boards. I have 6 different ones for different categories of my life. I look at them every day and it helps me stay on track with my goals and it helps me remember what it is that I want and just get there faster, I think. The more you look at something and think about something and believe it to be true and believe that it's coming your way, that's how you create things in your life. There's an important key rule with manifestation and visualization that I think is important that I'll say now, but we can go into detail in another video, but it's knowing what you want, putting it out there, and then letting it go. Believing it to be true, believing it to be coming your way. Obsessing over something creates resistance, which ultimately will not find its way to you. So we don't want to obsess over it. We want to look at it. We want to know that it's coming our way. We want to know that we will get to this point. We want to know that we will have this and be this and do this, but we don't want to obsess. So there's a fine line between that, and we'll get into that, like I said, in another video, but I just wanted to leave that out there. These are the things that I think fall under the spiritual category. So again, all things that we should be working on, we should be in tune with, especially during times like this. Highly suggest working on yourself in these 3 categories: physically, emotional management, and spiritually. I think you will come out of this year, this pandemic, this quarantine, 2020, as a healthy, happier, stronger human being. So those are the things that I've learned and that I've been implementing in my life during this time. Feel free to write in the comments what you think is what's great about this, about your current situation and the circumstance of the world right now. And let's have a community of positivity and share that with each other. We thank you so much for watching, right? And hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.